What is up, everybody? I hope you are having a fantastic evening. It is open mic night. It is your night to get off your takes. Link is pinned to the top of the chat. Click the link, it'll bring you backstage. You'll have 5 minutes to talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about. I have some topics that I want to propose, but you can take it whichever direction you would like to. We'll get to it right after this intro. All right. Welcome back to Last Second Sports. We are giving you our take down to the last second. It is open mic night. It's your night to get off your takes. Link pinned to the top of the chat. That being said, real quick, before we get to Korean 49er, I really think the 49ers are going to sign Davante Adams. Like, I know that we heard that Davante Adams is willing to either play for any team on the West Coast. It sounds like 49ers, the Rams, the Chargers. That's a preference. Sounds like the Packers might be interested in him again. He's obviously familiar and comfortable there. I just feel like the 49ers are looking at this, and they're looking at this season as an all-in type of season, whether I agree with that or not. And I think that Davante Adams, at a position of need, all of a sudden, you move on from Debo Samuel, you bring in Davante Adams, who's like the anti-Debo as far as the way that he plays football, and he's perfect for Brock Purdy. I mean, I think you want to get the best out of Brock Purdy, then Davante Adams is definitely going to help you do that. We don't know what Ayuk's going to look like when he comes back. We don't know when he's going to come back. You obviously have Jennings. You have Kittle, who's an elite tight end. You've got Pearsall. You got Cowing. And you can spend some assets in the draft, but they have so many other needs that they need to get. Davante Adams really kind of puts a Band-Aid on that wide receiver position for the San Francisco 49ers until Brandon Ayuk is back and fully healthy, which that might not be until 2026. So let Davante Adams be your number one guy. I really can see it happening. That's if I had a bold prediction, it would be that. I also have two other thoughts. One of them was presented to me by my guy JC, so shout out to him, and that is Brock Purdy. He was talking about how unsurprised 49er fans will be when we found out, or when we find out of nowhere, that Brock Purdy had some minor procedure on his shoulder this offseason. It's totally the 49er way to just, nonchalantly, we'll throw that out at the combine or what have you. So I wouldn't be shocked if that ends up being the case. Not that it makes that big of a difference as long as he's able to play and he's not impacted, then who cares, I guess. But wouldn't be shocked if that happens. And then the last thing I want to bring up is Trent Williams. When we talk about the 49ers in 2025, Trent Williams is a part of every conversation. We just assume he's going to be there. And maybe he will be. Sounds like he will be. The 49ers said he will be. But remember when Joe Staley retired? How everybody was pretty blindsided by that. It just happened in the draft, but luckily they had just traded for Trent Williams, and we're like, oh, this is great because Trent Williams is actually better than Joe Staley, and they got him for super cheap. But they told Joe Staley to wait because they wanted to take care of it in the draft, and they didn't want everybody around them knowing that they needed a left tackle. I'm not saying that Trent Williams is going to retire, but I will say this. Any of you that are married definitely can see the possibility for Trent Williams to retire. Him and his wife had disaster happen. She was pregnant with twins. She lost both babies. And that's awful. But you also know, for anybody, like I said, who's married or has been married or has had kids, how when you want kids, you're going to continue to try having kids. And if his wife goes to him and is like, listen, I want kids, I want to continue doing this. And when I get pregnant, I'm going to need you there. I'm not going to do this alone again. he's going to listen. Like he just will. That's what he will do as a good husband and future father of those children. Like that's going to be the way that he handles it. And I'm not saying that is happening or that's going to happen, but real life scenarios happen and I definitely could see that being a possibility where they're going to continue to try having kids and his wife's like, "I need you home. I can't have you on the road. I'm not doing this alone again. I'm not going to these appointments alone again. Got PTSD over this thing. I need your support." And he'll be like, That's fine. I'm out. No big deal." So, no, I don't think he had plans to retire. Like if it happens and it goes down this scenario, it's not as if he planned to retire. When he was asked by the 49ers, I'm sure he would have told them, "No, I'm not retiring." When he signed that deal last year, "No, I'm not retiring." And he meant all of that. But things change in life. And they had a pretty traumatic personal event happen. I could see his wife easily saying, I need you around. So something to think about. And if that were the case, by the way, I'm not saying it is, but if that were the case, none of us would know about it until the 49ers announced it, probably sometime during the draft again. Just throwing that out there. So just a couple food for thought things, bold prediction, some other thoughts. If you have any bold predictions, tonight would be the night to give those. If you want to talk draft, you want to talk free agency, you want to talk anything else that is on your mind, feel free to do it. You got 5 minutes. Come on stage. We're going to go to Korean 49er, then KC Cold. What's up, Korean 49er?
I'm good, Jesse. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, man.
It's like they're having some glitches on StreamYard, so we'll see what happens. First off, I'm already banking on not counting on Trent Williams. I can't do it. He's going to miss a couple games. You're going to have whoever the backup is for how many games he's going to miss. He's done
Hmm.
that since 2013. I mean, since the 2013 season, missed games. So might as well bank on that happening. Now, do I see that he could retire? Sure. I mean, he can't play a full season. Him and his wife are wanting to have a family, and more power to that. And you know, no one plays the game forever, not even Tom Brady. So who's to say that Trent Williams is going to be playing until he's 40? I don't believe that's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I think he has every intention on playing or had every intention on playing when he came into the contract. And again, if I'm like a betting man, I'm betting that he's going to play. I know what it's like to be married, and I know what it's like to struggle having kids, and I know exactly what that could look like from a real life scenario. And real life takes precedence over football; it just does. So, if that were to come up, I know that that's what he would choose. He just would. So it's not saying it will happen, but I just think it might be a bigger possibility than what people think. If it was just straight, "Hey, do you think he's going to retire because he's 37 years old?" It's like, no, I don't think so. He's got plenty of football left in him, what have you. But this is a real life scenario. Now, as far as like they need somebody there because he's going to miss games. Yeah, I mean, that's happened every year since forever at this point. So they're going to need somebody. I would love to get somebody like Anthony Belton in the draft, somebody like that who's young that can fill in and then kind of be the heir apparent for when Trent Williams does move on. But yeah, that's something they have to consider as well.
Yeah, I agree. To me, the most pressing need for this 49ers team is both the offensive and defensive lines. To me, there's four gaps on the offensive line that they got to fill, and there's at least two to three on the defensive line. Because if you look at the Rams this year, for the past their defensive line, I mean, is consisted of draft picks from the last two drafts. And what does Philadelphia do very well? They have the fist fight in the foam. They're big, and they can take on whatever they need because they just more or less showed that again in the Rams game at the very least. They just ran right through them. There's very little resistance, and you know San Francisco the 49ers used to be able to do that reasonably well. Not anymore.
Yeah, I mean, this is an area that the 49ers have to improve on. And you know what's crazy is like it's not like it's not like this was a revisionist history. It's not like, oh, Philadelphia won the Super Bowl and now everybody's saying you got to fix the trenches. We've been everybody's been talking about this for the last couple of years. Everybody's been talking about it. So it seems like everybody except for maybe the 49ers have been talking about it. But now, because they haven't put a lot of assets into the trenches through the draft over the last couple of years, you feel like they've got to pour every resource they have in this draft towards the trenches. Not that that's a bad plan. I think if you obviously if you hit on all these guys, you can fix things really, really quickly on both sides of the football. But it's going to take a really, really good draft and a lot of picks in the trenches in order to fix it in one off season.
Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see it happening. It took the Rams 2 seasons to overhaul their starting defensive line. I mean, could it happen? It could. I mean, I'd like to have, like Michigan with Graham and Grant, 660 pounds in the middle. That's very tough to move. Or when Texas had Casey Hampton and Sean Rogers, another 670 pounds of humanity that was very tough to move. I
Yeah.
hate the wide nine. I want to see some, you know, immovable beef in the middle that can't be moved, you know, so you at least get a chance at mismatches at getting to the quarterback.
Yeah. And I don't necessarily even hate the wide nine necessarily. I just, if you're going to run the wide nine, you do need that big body guy in the middle. And the 49ers traditionally haven't gone after, you almost need like a true nose tackle type of beef in the middle to go along with running the wide nine if that's what you're going to choose to do. And the 49ers really haven't had that guy. So if they do draft that guy this year, which I would love for them to do, that would be kind of going against what they've traditionally done. Now, I do know that Robert Saleh is here. He has autonomy to pretty much do whatever he wants. And he sounds like he's willing to change things up and tweak things a little bit. So maybe that's one of the tweaks he makes. I don't know. But there are some big bodies out there for sure.
Yeah, I mean, how good would the 49ers defensive line be with someone like a Casey Hampton in the middle?
Gosh,
I
I
mean, I'm
couldn't
just
even
saying. I
imagine.
mean,
Yeah.
you're not going to find very many of those guys. 6'1", 330-pound man that's can take on the double team and not be easily moved. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So thank you, Jesse.
Absolutely. All right, brother. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
Later. All right. Go to Casey Cold. And then we got Lewis, Ramon, and Jay. Let's see what Casey Cold's talking. What's up, Casey?
Yo, my man Jesse, what's going on, brother?
Not much, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. Can't complain. No complaints at all. And I just want to start by saying congrats on your new venture, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So I wanted to actually talk about the draft. And I'm probably going to say something that's maybe a little unpopular, but just bear with me.
Okay.
And so I've been trying my best to get a feel for some of these prospects and whatnot. And in my personal opinion, just based off of the fact that we're drafting 11th, and that's a really, really high pick. And I think we need an impact player at that position. These offensive linemen who I think are pretty good, Kelvin Banks, Will Campbell, and Membo, those are the names that are getting mentioned. In my personal opinion, I think that would be way too safe of a pick. And I
Mm,
don't think these guys are necessarily, although they might be worthy of that high of a pick, I think for us that's a little too safe. I think we need a game record, man. I'm talking like edge rusher, defensive tackle. I just think we need somebody that is going to keep these offensive coaches um, awake at night, man. Um, to me, these offensive linemen don't really quite check out or don't really have the same type of evaluation grade as a person like, and I'll just go in recent memory of like a Laramie Tunsil or a Tristan Wirfs or a Panay Sewell or a Zach Martin or a Quentin Nelson. They're really good players, but I'd much rather them go defensive line or even linebacker, trade back. You can get a guy like J.D. Barron. I'd even go with Tyler Warren. To me, that's probably the only offensive player that I would consider at 11, unless they're moving back. And then if you want to move back, maybe consider an offensive lineman. But I like guys like Connerly, maybe Anthony Belton, a couple of those interior guys from Georgia. I think those are guys that you can maybe get early in the second round. But I think for that first round pick, you got to get a game record, man. Interesting to hear what you think about it.
Yeah, I would love to have some sort of game record. I think that this draft, though, really outside of a few guys, I don't know that the guy really exists or will exist at 11, and that's why I do like the idea. And you brought it up of trading back. It's funny because I did the call-in show last week, and I forget who it was. I wish I can give them credit, but they were like, "Hey, what about trading back?" I'm like, "Yeah, I would love to, but I just don't know like who's in a trade." He goes, "What about Denver?" Like, imagine Warren's there. You don't think they would want to get Warren for Knicks? I'm like, that's a really good point. So it's like if McMillan and Warren are there, and you look at a team like Denver at 20, or maybe somebody in the late teens, and you can pick up another second round pick to go along with it, and then you're still going to have a good group of players there. Let's say you have pick 11. You're choosing between 2 or 3 offensive linemen, a defensive tackle or 2, maybe Jahdae Barron. 1 or 2 of those guys is going to be there if you move back a few spots. So you still can get a really quality player and pick up an extra draft pick. I would definitely be with it.
Yeah, and one of the things I look at, I just look at one of the best offensive lines in the league, and that's the Philadelphia Eagles and how they develop their guys. Only one of those offensive linemen is a first round pick that they used, right? And that's Lane Johnson. That was 12 years ago. If you look at Jordan Mailata, he's one of the best offensive linemen in the league. He was undrafted. He didn't even play football in college.
Mm-hmm.
You look at what's his name? The dude they got from the Jets. They picked up Mekhi Becton, right? Right. I mean, he was a free agent pickup, and that's really credit to their coaching. I think Jeff Statlin's probably the best offensive line coach in the league. And then you look at the other 2 dudes, and Dickerson and Cam Jurgens. Those guys were picked on day 2. So I think that's a lot to do with high level evaluation and high level coaching. So to me, this kind of just reminds me of the 2018 draft where the Niners end up picking Mike McGlinchey, and then 3 picks after that in a row. You got Minkah Fitzpatrick, you got Vita Vea, and then
Derwin
you get
James.
Deron Payne. And I would hate
Deron Payne. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and they're all 3 are Pro Bowlers, and I would hate for them to do that. They go and they pick somebody like, I don't know, like Kelvin Banks, and then next pick Ashton Genty, next pick Tyler Warren, next pick Malachi Starks, next pick Walter Nolan. So that's just my 2 cents. Again, I think these are really good offensive linemen. I would just rather them get an explosive player at a different position, because I'm really high on a lot of these high-end athletes at some of these other positions.
Yeah, man, I agree with you wholeheartedly, and I think moving back if you can is definitely the move for sure. I mean, I look at, we talk about impact players. Jahdae Barron to me is like he's that it deal right now. And if you can get him in the late teens, which I think you still might be able to, early 20s, then dude, no problem trading back, no problem.
Yeah, and then you could get an offensive lineman in the second round. You can get Gray Zebel. You can circle around, get Anthony Belton in the third round. I have no issue with that. And then you could even get Drew Dahlman in free agency. I think Dahlman in free agency and get one more rookie or 2 in the draft. And I think that the offensive line will be in a much better place than it is right now.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, brother.
All right, thanks a lot, man. Have a good night.
All right, man. Have a good one.
All right, you too, bro.
I don't even think you spelled his name right, did you? Scattaboo? Cam Scattaboo? I don't think that's how you spell it, brother. All right, let's go to Lewis, then Jay, then Ramon. What's up, Lewis?
Hey, what's up, Jesse? Good afternoon. How
Or
you
is
doing?
it's Luis, huh? Is it Luis?
Yes, it's Luis. Yes, sir.
All right. There you go.
No, you're
Speaking of
good,
saying
brother.
names wrong.
Hey, no, you're good. Don't worry about it. Hey, first and foremost, I want to congratulate you, man, on your new journey, your new path.
Thank you, man.
That's a true blessing. Um,
Thank you, bro.
thank you for letting me get the chance to speak right now. There's a couple of topics I want to get off right now.
Yeah.
Um, the one caller, Korean 49er, he was kind of on point. I would kind of wish we could get away from the wide nine, but that's kind of what the Niners they feel most comfortable with.
hmm
And I feel like if they were to switch it up, I feel like it wouldn't be good for what our schematics and our scheme and what kind of players we would have to match with it. So we just gotta stick to the basics. I'm assuming. Um, but I want your take, man. I heard you talking about Davante Adams and the Niners where they might get Davante. What makes you think that? And not
Yeah,
make you
I
think that,
think
but like,
yeah.
but what makes you so how do you say? What, sorry, I'm just at work right now. Um, what makes you so confident in knowing that the Niners are most likely will try to go all in on Davante?
I just think that to me, everything kind of lines up. He's from the area. B, he did say that he is wanting to play for one of these California teams. And I think the 49ers have really liked and admired Davante's game from afar for a while. I think that the 49ers might have been in on Davante in the past, but unwilling to kind of pay the price. And they had some young guys that they were getting ready to take the next spot as well. I just look at it and say, man, they don't truly have a number one receiver coming into this year. Now, Kittle, obviously, it tied in, but when you're paying a quarterback, the last thing you want to do is not have him look good, especially out the gates. I mean, imagine if Brock Purdy looked average next year right after getting paid. That would be a disaster, an absolute disaster. So, how do you stop that from happening? Well, you surround him with as much talent as possible. And you can do that because he's inexpensive still. Go get a Davante Adams. That's going to make your investment in Brock Purdy look that much better. It's going to give you the a number one wide receiver on your team. This is an area that he wants to be. He grew up here anyways. He knows the system inside and out playing for the Green Bay Packers. I just think to me, like it makes too much sense. Now, who knows? It may not happen. I think the 49ers are going to try to make a big move. And I don't know that move is Myles Garrett or Max Crosby or anything like that. One that seems the most realistic is Davante Adams.
Yeah, that sounds about right because I don't know everything been covering this team since I've been fresh out the womb that
Mhm.
they're gonna go after big names like that. But I would love to get Devontae Adams because that would help out Purdy. Um, man, there's something else I wanted to get off my chest, but I can't really get it off the top of my head right now. Um, if I do, I'll just message you on X or something.
Yeah, sounds good, brother. I appreciate it. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, thank you. Have a great day, man. Continue doing your thing.
Thank you,
And hey, that 4-man front show, man, I freaking love that shit. Stick it to
man.
I love
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
I love watching you guys' shows, man, because it gets me through my day while I'm working freaking 12-hour days. So that helps out a
No, I
lot.
feel it. I
I
feel it.
appreciate you guys for what you guys do.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in as always.
Yep. I'll see you next time.
All right, bro. There's Luis. Luis. All right, we're gonna go to Jay and then Ramon. See what Jay's talking about. What's up, Jay?
Hello.
What's
You
up?
hear me?
What's up? Yep.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. I really don't understand why people are so when they're talking about what the 49ers should do, they're so focused on the lines when we know they're not going to focus on that because the Shanahan offense is made not to focus on that. Like I don't know why people don't understand that. The defense is, but the offense is meant to get the ball out fast so these guys don't have to block. So that's why they don't put an emphasis on it. Now they should, but that's their way of thinking. It's like we can use regular dudes because we're trying to get the ball out in 3 to 5 seconds, you know. So to me, the bigger problem last year wasn't the line; it was the fact we had no playmakers. This offseason should be about getting speed and guys who can catch the ball, because we don't have that. We don't know what Brandon Ayuk is going to be. We have JJ, but he's slow. George Kittle is George Kittle. But other than that, it's like, who they have that can score? We couldn't score points last season. The defense near the middle of the season were stopping guys. They could not score points. They had to keep kicking field goals. We know our field goal kicker sucks, and that's it. Not having playmakers exasperated the special teams and the defense, because for the past 2 seasons we could score. They couldn't score anymore. Like, so when you look at the 11th pick, I honestly think they should try to get that Ted McMillan guy. They need a receiver. They need a guy like that. Like, you don't know what Brandon Ayuk's going to be. You're going to have Debo anymore. And I guess we went receiver. It would be going receiver 2 years in a row, but they need a guy. Like, and you're not going to get in. You can get Davante, but he's a short-term guy. And there's not too many guys, in free agency to go after. You can't get T. Higgins really unless you trade for him. You could trade for Garrett Wilson, but you know what I mean? Like, you have the 11th pick. You can go get a guy. You can go get Ted. You can go get the guy that Larry likes from Ole Miss. You have to get some receivers for Brock.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. They do need to get a receiver. I guess that's why I proposed the Davante Adams thing. But to your point, I mean, the 49ers said just last year that they prioritize guys that touch the ball, not guys that protect the quarterback. So I don't know. I guess what I'm hoping for, and this is a big hope, but Kyle Shanahan really talked about like self-assessment this offseason. And, I really got to look at things. Like, the league has figured him out a little bit in the sense that they know exactly what to show him to get certain looks out of him. The teams have scouted him. They've figured him out a little bit in that. And so I hope he goes back, self-scouts, and says, okay, I need to change things up. And it starts with protecting my quarterback. I no guarantee that that's going to happen for sure. And like, I look at it and I think it's just as likely that they go like Warren or McMillan as they do go an offensive lineman at 11. I think it's more likely that they go defense at 11.
If they the way I look at it, just from watching this team for so long, if they don't go a skill player, then they'll probably go like Walter Nolan, a defensive tackle, or they'll go. I can see them going cornerback, but I've been wanting them to draft a cornerback. I feel like losing Ward's like kind of a big deal that no one's really talking about. But so I can see them getting Jade or what's the Will Johnson, I think is the guy's name. Some kind of cornerback. But there's lots of good guys in free agency. Like, you got Asante Samuel in free agency. I mean, there's Asante Samuel. There's the guy who was playing for the Vikings. I can't remember his name, but he's a free agent. There's a couple of free agent secondary guys that can go after, and there's a decent amount of O-line guys actually too. Because I feel like you really need veteran O-linemen. Me personally, I feel like the team should rebuild. I don't think they should be trying to compete right now, because when you really think about it, their biggest rivals are at their strongest next year. But the year after that, that's when the Eagles and all the guys they've had mercenary start to have to get paid. That's where the mercenaries that the Commanders and the Rams and the Lions need to be paid. So this really should be a year where they build the team up, and then the year after that, they'll be in a better position because the other teams will be weaker. But they have to keep perception, so they're going to try to get a bunch of free agents. They're probably going to try to get a guy. But this is why I always tell people that if you want to look at how you should honestly build a team, it really like what the Steelers do. Now, they have a problem with quarterback, but they consistently just keep building the team. And if you just keep building the team will be able to compete, get to the wild card, do what it needs to do. But when you try to like get that splash, you try to always compete for the Super Bowl.
Hey, Jay, I think you disconnected from your Bluetooth or something.
Somebody was trying to call me right when I was on the phone with you. But it's just they really need to look for the future. I really think don't need to be short sighted. You could sign Brock to like a 4 or 5 year deal, build next year, and then still be in a position to compete.
Oh, there we go. It came back. I can hear you now better.
Did you hear what I said at the end?
Yeah, I heard what you said. I don't know that they heard, but yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with you. This has been my thing since before the trade deadline. I'm looking at it going, get rid of these guys with these big time contracts that are older, that aren't going to be contributors in 2026 and 2027. move on from them, get draft picks, and retool this thing on the fly. But they're not. They're not going to do those things.
Yeah, I've been saying that to people, and they think I'm crazy. I'm like, they need to give up. Like, it's like you have these old players.
You struck gold with Purdy. Now take Purdy. What you got? Hello.
Yeah. You're super quiet again, but I got you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get off soon. My girlfriend keeps buzzing in. But the main point is why they have the contract with Purdy, they need to be building the team up. They don't need to be trying to make a splash. That's basically the point.
I agree with you.
But I'm gonna get off, man. I really appreciate you taking my time, man.
Absolutely, man. I'll talk to you. Gentlemen, don't do what Jay did. Jay was clearing his girl's call to get on Last Second Sports, which I appreciate. I do appreciate. But Jay might be single now. So if you really like your girl, don't do that. Don't clear the call. For me, I'll still be here. So there you go. But I do agree with him. Definitely. Everybody who watches knows that that's been my MO for a while. But 49ers are not going to do that. Let's see what Ramon's talking. What's up, Ramon?
Hey, Jess, can you hear me?
I got you.
Hey, Jesse, man, first off, I just want to say, love your channel. Love the 4-man front. I love how you're so open-minded, everything. Big fan. Listen to you all the time.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
So, it's funny. It's not really a question. It's a question. So me and my wife were big football fans, but she's a Raider. I'm a Niner.
Okay.
And we made a bet where whoever's team goes farther in like playoffs or just in the season in general has to wear the other team's jersey to a big family event. I'm confident, but them signing Pete Carroll, having all this cap space, how do you feel about that?
Oh, I wouldn't worry about the Raiders at all. That's a bet I'm comfortably making.
That's why. She's the one who wanted to bet, and I was like, oh, for sure. I didn't think twice about it. But then, like, with all these coaches, and they're coming in, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting a little worried, but I'm just like, nah, man. If we could stay healthy and we have a good off season with players, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident about it.
Hey, tell her she can wear a Max Crosby 49er jersey potentially. It'll be great.
Oh, that would be so awesome if we got him. Oh, yeah, I would love it.
Could you imagine? That'd be the jersey you get her too, just salt in the wound.
Oh, yeah, that's just another nail in the coffin. Like, yeah, I'd be so happy.
Nah, man, I wouldn't be too worried about that bet. That's one that I definitely feel good about. 49ers schedule is super easy, man. It really is.
Yeah, that's what made me feel so confident about it, that we got I think it's the easiest ranked schedule this year or something like that, like 32 or something.
Yeah.
And then I was gonna say a quick one. What do you think, just on top of your head, what do you think's our record gonna be, and are we gonna be number one in the NFC West?
Man, it's tough because like looking at the teams, you're like, oh, 14-3. 13-4 type of season, but like where those games fall, a lot of that plays into it. Plus, there's just so much to happen this offseason. One of those teams that looks bad all of a sudden can look pretty good after a full offseason. So it's really tough to say. I mean, I think I'll be conservative and say like 11-6, 12-5 potentially. The Rams have a tougher schedule than the 49ers for sure, but I think the Rams are a better team than the 49ers right now. We'll see how the offseason goes. I think the Rams are the best team in the NFC West right now.
Yeah, I believe it too. But I mean, if they're saying if Matthew Stafford leaves, then yeah, I know we jump on number one, and Seattle has negative cap space.
Yeah.
But I definitely, and I know there's always one of those hiccup games where, oh yeah, we should beat this team like the Vikings last year. Oh, we should have beat this team. I know couple of those teams this year, because looking at our schedule, it's like, oh yeah, we should beat this team. We should beat this team. No, one of those is a trap game, and I know we're probably going to end up losing. Hopefully not, but I know there's always one or two of those games.
Yeah, there definitely is. I even look at like Tampa next year. Tampa This year they got Tampa without their top 3 wide receivers and without their left tackle, and they were able to go into Tampa and win in a pretty close game. I could see Tampa beating them next year, So it's I could see the Bears being a lot better. They've put together a nice little coaching staff over there. They've got some money. So
Yeah.
listen, I think the 49ers are going to be fine. I do think that they should be in the playoffs, and they're going to be fighting for the NFC West. They certainly could win the NFC West, but if I'm just saying like which team right now in a vacuum would I take, the Rams or the 49ers without the offseason happening, I would take the Rams.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks, Jesse. Keep doing your amazing channel. Love it. Love hearing it all the time. Keep doing you, brother.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
All right. Bye.
All right, brother. Good call, Ramon. Good call. Right now, I don't have anybody waiting, so if you want to get in, I recommend doing so. Tommy Huxley says, please welcome Jim Everniner, the faithful. Welcome, Jim Everniner. I really appreciate you. Dazza says, as much as fans talk about things we'd like the Niners to do, Kyle just seems too stubborn to make the moves we want to see, like upgrading the offensive line, playing young guys, running the ball in the Super Bowl win up. Yeah, I mean, I guess we're kind of crazy because I keep falling for it over and over and hoping that things are going to change, that he'll do something different. But that is just hoping. That is just hoping. And it's, again, it's not like Kyle Shanahan's awful or doesn't know what he's doing. It's just there are tweaks that need to be made, and roster building and how they've built this team. To me, that's something that just has to be tweaked. Like you can't continue to pour assets into the guys that touch the football when you haven't built up the trenches first. Tom Brady, the best quarterback of all time, talked about it this last offseason on the Cowherd show. And I remember bringing it up, but he said, show me a team with an elite offensive line and I'll show you a team that's competing for a Super Bowl. And he said, if you don't have an elite offensive line, then you better be elite pretty much everywhere else to make up for it. And he said, that is really hard to do. Well, when you look at the 49ers, they haven't had the elite offensive line, but they have been elite almost everywhere else. And even then, they've fallen short, unfortunately, in the Super Bowl. They just have. And so go build the offensive line, because being elite everywhere right now that's not in the playbook for this next season. They have too many roster holes to be elite everywhere this year. But in one really good draft, one good offseason, you can fix the trenches. If you're perfect, right? I'm not saying it's going to be easy either, but it can be done. But they have, let's just go through the roster real quick. They have, I think most of us would agree, for sure they need a left guard. We would love for them to upgrade at right tackle and center, but for sure they need a left guard. They need a receiver. They need a second tight end. They need another running back or two. They need 2 defensive tackles, maybe 3, and they need another edge rusher. They need another corner. They need another linebacker. They need another safety. I mean, that's a lot of open positions. And in some of these scenarios, we're trying to fill in for really good players or make up for players that are still here but aren't what they were 2 years ago. So there's just a lot of things that they have to account for. Or you can just pour all of your draft assets into the trenches. You hit on those, you fixed them, and now you're competitive again. And you're competitive for many years to come because you built the team the right way. You did it through the trenches. It takes a while to be where the Eagles are at. The Eagles didn't do this in one offseason. They always build through the trenches. This is just what they do. This is why they can revamp a whole defensive line in 2 seasons and still be just as good as they ever were. And this is why I'm not saying that they're going to, but if they want to let Josh Sweat walk this offseason, they can do it and rest pretty easily because they've got the pieces already on the team to fill in for him. Jalix Hunt wasn't supposed to be a major contributor this year. He was supposed to replace Sweat eventually. He ended up contributing quite a bit down the stretch, and now they know for sure he can just slide right in and replace Sweat, and they feel comfortable there. And then they'll draft another one, and they'll just keep doing what they do. Once you've got that funnel of talent built in that position group, and you continue to draft there, you're just adding assets. The 49ers were at their best when they were coming at you in waves on the defensive line. 2019, they were at their best when they did that. 2021, they were at their best when they were doing those things. So it's just what they need to do. They need to get back there. 2022 as well. I mean, and they from 2019 to 2022, they didn't have the depth quite as much, but they still had decent depth there. They still had Eric Armstead. They still had Javon Hargrave. I guess they got Hargrave in 23. Who'd they have in 22? They had Amenahu. They had I don't remember if Arden Key was on that team. They had Armstead, obviously. Either way, they had a lot more depth than what they had last year. That's for sure. So it's just something that they've got to do. And we all know it. I don't think anybody, at this point, nobody's arguing it. That's the crazy thing. We all agree. Like, just get better in the trenches. I don't think there's a single person going, God, they're just fine there. I haven't seen that take. Like, we don't agree on a lot as a fan base. We all agree that they can get better in the trenches and need to. We all agree, universally. Everybody. So just go do it. Just go do it. It is common sense. And dollars, since you spelled it that way. So there you go. Let's have some fun real quick. Hold on. Here. There we go. Get rid of that. Let's do a mock draft. Should we use PFSN or should we use PFF? Like, what do you guys use for your mock drafts? PFF? Do PFF if you want to trade Tebow. All right. But see, I don't know that we're gonna trade Tebow. We'll just do PFF because it's easier, I guess. PFR. What do you think? Where are you guys at? Sup, worldwide? Yeah, listen, if you would have asked Perna this after last offseason, I don't think he would have agreed. Mike McGlinchey did not play well the first year. So I don't think he would have agreed with that one. Let's see. Share screen. Share. And let me get rid of this. Okay. I think we're good. Think we are good. 49ers. Turbo. Throw it somewhere in the middle. Best player available. All right, let's go. Let's do it. Who wants to trade with us? Detroit. Detroit always wants to trade in these things, I notice. I don't think I want to go all the way to 28 though. What do you guys think? I'll let you guys kind of lead this one. You tell me what you want to do. Should we trade? Trade Debo for the number 1 pick. Too late. Too late. Too late. Trade up and get a punter. Yeah, it sounds like a lot of teams are doing this. They approved it last year, I think, in the owners' meetings, and we're starting to see a lot of teams do this. It doesn't really mean much. I mean, Jed York's still going to be the guy running things day to day. It doesn't change anything. I think, though, what we should do, much like the Packers are owned by their fans, I think a bunch of fans should just go in and get that 10%. What do you think? I don't know. All right, let's I do like that Denver trade. Let's see if we can make it happen again real quick. 20, 52 for 11. Ooh, they're not interested. Nope. They don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. Let's see. Can we get... Ooh, let's bamboozle the Seahawks. Nope. Golly, nobody wants to... Nobody's in on it. Nobody wants to trade with us. All right, you know what? We might just have to make a pick. It is what it is, right? Actually, you know what? Hold on. Let's give Denver Debo. Let's see what they say to Debo. Oh, okay. Oh, no. Never mind. I didn't have the stuff on there. Nope. Okay. Well, Debo brings no value, apparently. Shocker. Shocker. All right. You know, it's funny because I always do these on my phone. Where the hell do I go to draft players on this thing? Where are the players at? Oh, there we go. Okay. Draft players. All right. So we got Barron. We got Pierce. Did you guys see this? Pierce might have some character concerns. I don't know. We got Grant. We got Will Johnson. We got Mike Green. A lot of people like Mike Green. We got Walter Nolan, Simmons, Banks. The first player to have 2 people say their name that's who I'm going to go with. All right, we got one for Josh Simmons. Dylon. We got one for Simmons. What do you guys think? I'm going to put mine down for Walter Nolan. Leon Sandcastle says Nolan. Mike Green. I feel like we can say that. Back then, you didn't want me. Now I'm hot. Mike Green. Will Johnson. Banks. Okay, somebody's got to break a tie here. Oh, 2 for Mike Green. Okay. There it is. Drafting Mike Green. This is y'all's draft. Okay, here we go. So we got Mike Green round 1. A lot of people want to trade with us. Let's see what's available. Falcons want to give us pick 46, it seems. 90, that's too far back. Falcons and Bengals. I kind of like that. 116. What do you think? Should we do it? Let's see what the Bengals have. The Bengals have 49 and 81. I like that better. They don't like that. There we go. 49 and 81 for 43 and 137. Let's go. Okay, here we go. This is what we're looking at. Cam Scattaboo. Darian Porter. Arianti Ursay. Kyle Kennard. Donovan Jackson. Jordan Birch. Ooh. Alfred Collins. What do you guys think? Genty's not there. Ursay? Booker. Wow. Okay. Collins. Okay. We got Collins. We got Booker. We got Ursay. What do you guys think? Need one more. Booker. Okay, Booker it is. We got our left guard. Perfect. Okay. We got a pick at 79, and then we got 80. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, Ezra Thomas is still there? No way. Deion Walker. You got to go down a little bit. Find some good players here. Hold on. Let me see if Belton's still there. God, I love Belton. Ozzy. But I like Belton. Okay, who do we want to go with? Take all offensive line. You guys are saying Ozzy, huh? Okay. All right. It's your draft. It's your world. I'm just living in it. All right, we got another pick here, though, at 81. Ooh. What do we want to do? So far, we've got Mike Green, Tyler Booker, and Ozzy. What do you think? Savion Williams? Okay, that's one for Savion. More of a Ezra Thomas guy. Ezra Thomas, right there. Just throwing it out there. Makuba's there. Arroyo. Jeez, man, you guys. Okay. We got 2 on Arroyo. This is the rules. If one name is said twice, that's who we go with. Arroyo was the first person to have his name said twice. Okay, here we are. Still round 3, pick 99. We got Deion Walker, Rutledge. Milrow. Arroyo over Williams is criminal. I don't disagree. His name was said twice, though. That's the rule. Who was the center? Jared Wilson. I'd rather go Majors. We just went tight end. We're not going tight end again. I'm overriding tight end again. I don't think Dart's still going to be there. Walker. Okay, we got 2 for Walker. 2 for Walker. Okay, we got pick 111. So we've got Mike Green, Tyler Booker, Ozzie Trapillo, Elijah Arroyo, and Deion Walker. 3 offensive players, 2 defensive players. There you go. Where do we want to go next? Oh, Jackson Dart is still there. There's no way. He's going like top 7. Have we heard the latest? Yeah, I know. Listen, I didn't make the pick, Niners worldwide. The rule is whoever's name is said twice first gets picked. It's just the rule. All right? This is not my draft. It's collectively your draft. Man, a lot of the guys that I really like are not hanging around. I'm not a big fan of any of these guys. Dart. There's no way he's going to be there. Okay, Noel Williams. That's what was said. Where is he? Am I tripping? Where? I believe Kyle let you listen to your show. Highly doubt it. Okay. All right. We're going to go Noel. We're going Noel. First name said twice. And we got pick 138 coming up. Oh, Femi Oladejo, but we already got an edge rusher. Already got a tight end. What do you guys think? Oladejo, I know. Scadaboo, yeah, he was gone a while ago. I'm pretty positive. Let's see who we got at running back. Etienne, Jordan James, Taj Brooks, Ollie Gordon. Yeah. Some good names left at running back. Some good names. We can go Quinn Ewers. He's the future. Just stack. You guys want Femi? That is 2 people that said Oladejo. All right. All right. Just that's what we're going with. Okay. We're in the running back lane. Jake Majors. Guys, I know I said it's your draft. I might make an executive decision, though. Jake Majors is still there. Okay? Throwing it out there. I would feel better if we did this together and 2 people said Major's name for me, and then I would feel better about it. Okay, thank you. But I want this to be a collective pick, okay? Okay. All right, so here's what we've got so far. We've got an edge, a guard, a tackle, tight end, defensive tackle, corner, an edge, a center, and we got 3 picks left. Ooh. Let's see. Need another defensive tackle. Oh, really? Hold on. Did Cam Jackson get taken? Wow, he did. Hold on. Where did he get taken at? Dang, the Raiders took him at 217. I thought he would just be there for us later. That sucks. That sucks. Okay. Who you guys saying? Any linebackers? Hold on a second. Linebackers. Jalen Walker. No, I don't see Higgins. No. That's your linebackers. I don't see Higgins there. Kicker. Perfect. All right, let's look at the overall list. Dylan Fairchild. Although we already got a guard. Doesn't make sense. Dante Trader. And there's not a lot. Jalen Walker. Undone. Who you guys got? Okay. 2 on Mundone. So there we go. So it is. We got 2 left. 2 left. You know Kyle's going to take a running back. Very disappointed in you guys. Very disappointed. Very disappointed. There is no way that Fairchild is. See, I hate these drafts, man. They're just so unrealistic. What do you guys think? Jalen Walker. Shamari Simmons. It's not Kyle's draft. That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. It's not. See, now it's a family affair. Nice. Listen, Jay, I'm glad that we're good. Remember Jay that called earlier? Hannah is the girlfriend that was interrupting the call that he kept sending to voicemail. Says, I'm Jay's girlfriend from earlier. He's still taken. He came home and showed me what happened and what you said, and I busted out laughing. He's off the hook this time. All capital letters this time, Jay. Better watch yourself. Mind your P's and Q's. Kyron Lacey, Fairchild, wide receiver. Sorry. Let's see. Here's your wide receiver. Oh, Kyron Lacey. Okay. Lacey is a no. Ooh. Somebody says specifically somebody and no. Does that cross the one person off that said their name? I don't know. We already got a tight end though, Leon. We already got one. Oh, I don't know. I don't know that Lacey is or isn't. Defensive tackle, we could use another one for sure. We only have one. This is a good point. This is a good point. Ooh, Thor Griffith. I love oh, they actually have one. Okay. They usually say, here's a guy that we like. Tonka? He's a little light. He's a little light. Is that really what we wanted? Thor? Thor? All right, 2 on Thor. We're going Thor. We're going Thor. All right, one last pick. One last pick. Shamari Simmons. Jackson Meeks. Jabbar Muhammad. Yeah. Jabbar. Oh, Lacey's the one that was. Oh, okay. I get it. I didn't realize that was him. I forgot about him. Yeah. Yeah, you definitely don't want to draft him. That's for sure. Running back, there is no good running backs. There's like one. I don't even know if there's a running back left in the draft. You got one option. One option, man. One option. Man, even my guy got taken, huh? Yeah, there he is. Dante Trader went to the Steelers. Of course he did. Of course he did. Hey, Nesbitt's still there. Like Nesbitt. The only running back left is Michigan's running back. Did you just say that Hennigan's better than Brock? That's crazy. You're obviously saying as a prospect, right? All right. Shamari Simmons, Jackson Meeks, Jabbar Muhammad, Shiloh Sanders. We didn't go safety. Oh, yeah, we didn't go safety. I don't believe. We didn't take a safety, so there you go. We did get a center though. We did draft a center. We got Jackson Majors. Or I mean Jake Majors. Jackson Majors. We got Jake Majors. Shiloh Sanders? Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it. That's 2 for Shiloh. All right. There we go. See what happened. Hey, we earned some rewards. We got an A for effort. We made the trade. So we traded 49. We received 49 and 81 for 43 and 137. I like that. I like that. We got Tyler Booker. Look at that, man. I wasn't big on the Arroyo pick, but such is life. It wasn't my draft. I like some of these guys, though. We got Femi late. We got Jake. I like those. Okay. Not bad. Not too shabby. A B plus. Hey. A B plus for just throwing out names in the chat. Pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. So there you go. Not bad. Not bad. And not only did we get a B plus on our draft, but Jay didn't lose a girlfriend tonight. So there is that. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. Hope you have a blessed night. We'll talk soon. Peace.